Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys RB Tony Pollard could join NFC East rival in free agency. Roster-wise, a lot can change for the Dallas Cowboys over the next few months, including a potential departure from running back Tony Pollard. Pollard is without a contract heading into the 2024 offseason after playing on a franchise tag in 2023. Which is why the Washington Commanders are being linked to a move for Pollard. On January 19, Sports Illustrated's David Harrison analyzed Pollard as an option for Washington. Gone are the days when NFL teams can rely on just one running back to carry the full workload, so Pollard should enter free agency looking for an opportunity to combine with another ball carrier who complements his own talents well, Harrison writes. Brian Robinson Jr. is a player many who watched Washington this season thought should get more work, but not so much that he gets run into the ground either. Cowboys fans can relate. After being the complement to RB Ezekiel Elliott to start his career, Pollard was the feature back in 2023 and it did not exactly go to plan. After people clamored for Pollard to get more touches, the 26-year-old had a fairly underwhelming year on the franchise tag. Pollard's production in 2023. At a first glance, Pollard's 2023 season doesn't look bad. He went over 1,000 rushing yards for the second straight season and had 300-plus receiving yards. But when comparing it to 2022, it becomes obvious why it was a letdown. Firstly, PFR shows that he ended up 2 yards shy of his 2022 total, 1,007, but needed 59 more attempts to get there. He also scored 6 fewer touchdowns in 2023, but it's the averages that are the most concerning. In 2023, Pollard averaged 1.2 yards less per carry than he did in 2022. The same goes for his receptions, as he averaged under 6 yards per reception for the first time in his NFL career. The decrease in production could be due to teams preparing for him specifically. It could also be a product of the fractured fibula he suffered last January. It's not easy being the focus of the film room, or to recover from that type of injury. Cowboys could sign 4-time Pro Bowler while Pollard is linked elsewhere. The Cowboys are already being linked to potential replacements. Heavy's Sean Devaney recently addressed the speculation, listing Tennessee Titans RB Derrick Henry as a potential addition. Henry has been one of the NFL's premier power backs for the past half-decade. While he is now 30, his recent interview with Bussin' with the Boys saw him back himself in a big way. "I want to win a Super Bowl," Henry said. "I ain't done playing, I ain't close to done playing, I still feel like I can run for another 2,000, but that's for the future to tell." He hit that mark in 2020, averaging 4.4 yards per carry in the process. And while he is aging, his most recent season was still impressive. The former Alabama star had 1,167 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns and 4.2 yards per carry. Dallas probably also needs to be thinking about a complement to a RB like Henry. But he clearly still has the energy to take 10 to 15 touches a game and shouldn't be overlooked. Cowboys Mike McCarthy gets big contract update after remaining head coach. Although Mike McCarthy is returning as the Dallas Cowboys head coach for the 2024-25 season, he should still avoid sitting down anywhere in the team's facility. Because, based on his latest contract update, the Super Bowl 45 champion's seat is scorching hot. Or as hot as it can get in Jerry World. Despite a widespread belief that McCarthy would be fired after the Cowboys' embarrassing home defeat to the Green Bay Packers in the NFC wildcard round, owner Jerry Jones is trusting his guy for another year. That is the extent of his generosity for the time being, though. Mike McCarthy is not expected to receive any sort of extension from the Dallas Cowboys and will coach the 2024 season on an expiring contract, league sources told ESPN, Adam Schefter reported. Jones believes that a person in the last year of a contract is challenged in a different way, and it often can bring out the best in people, which he is banking on happening in 2024 with McCarthy. Is this really the last shot for Mike McCarthy with the Cowboys? Retaining the former Green Bay Packers HC after overseeing another postseason gut punch is already surprising, but signing him to an extension would have sent seismic waves throughout Dallas and beyond. Most know the story by now. McCarthy has been the pillar of consistency in the regular season, winning 12 games in each of his first 3 years, franchise's best stretch in 3 decades. Unfortunately, however, he and the Cowboys have also been a very different pillar of consistency in the playoffs. They are 1-3, with a victory against a soon-to-be retiring Tom Brady and an 8-9 Tampa Bay Buccaneers squad in 2023 serving as the lone triumph. And even that game featured 4 missed extra-point attempts. This troubling trend of high-stakes football predates the Mike McCarthy era, which causes many NFL fans to lambaste Jones for creating a culture synonymous with choking. But his job security will not be in doubt next year. Ditto for quarterback Dak Prescott, by the looks of it. The same cannot be said for McCarthy. Whether he feels it or not, the veteran coach will be under suffocating pressure to finally restore legitimacy back to the Cowboys' name. Otherwise, they will remain America's punchline, and he will be looking for other work. Stephen A. Smith lays into Jerry Jones for not hiring Bill Belichick and continuing with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy had another year as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, surprising analysts and fans alike. Smith blames Cowboys owner and general manager Jerry Jones for his decision. I was very disappointed when Jerry Jones decided to stay with Mike McCarthy because I thought I had been lied to. Jerry Jones kept talking about his death and said he believes the apocalypse is near. Jerry Jones, himself. He went on to explain his distaste for the praise Jones gave McCarthy. When I heard Jones say Mike McCarthy was a great coach. It seems to be a winning season for the Dallas Cowboys all year long. Many expect Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn to stay on as head coach next season. Mike McCarthy is left with the task of capitalizing on young and veteran players like CeeDee Lamb, who can play for big pay raises and financial protection that eases the pace and pressure. That leaves McCarthy with the impossible task of trying to figure out potential defenses during OTAs and training camp. Simply put, losing pieces and motivating others will make the manager stronger. After another controversial pick by the Dallas Cowboys, most people expected owner Jerry Jones to fire coach Mike McCarthy. Bill Belichick is the former coach of the New England Patriots. Stephen A. is famous for his hatred of Jones. Smith spoke with celebrity blogger Will Kane about the future of the franchise. Smith said Jerry Jones should hire Bill Belichick. He says Jones is the best coach in Dallas under Belichick because he can evaluate talent. The Dallas Cowboys, especially Jerry Jones, need to find a coach who can simply coach. But this agreement makes no sense. Belichick has even admitted that he is willing to give up some roster control, but he has no intention of ceding it to Jerry Jones. Plus, both Jones and Belichick want to be in control of everything. Things don't go well when there are two people like this. Smith tells Will Kane that Jerry Jones should hire Bill Belichick as the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Jones loves to talk to the media and air his team's dirty laundry. Can you imagine how much content the relationship between Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick would bring us? Jerry Jones is lying to you. Topic. Coach Mike McCarthy's job security. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones insists to 105.3 The Fun that this weekend's playoff loss at Tampa Bay will not cost McCarthy his job. No, that's all, Jones said, when asked Monday if there was any outcome that could lead to McCarthy's ouster. I don't have to go into all the pros and cons, but I can say Mike McCarthy more than anything. I can judge it's a playoff game. Jerry Jones is lying to you. Smith barked and used his Jackie Chili's-like speaking style, filled with shouts and whispers and poetic chants. If McCarthy loses this game, Mike McCarthy is fired. That last statement is stupid and kind of a reference to Stephen A. I don't care what anyone says. There are also all kinds of things that are wrong. Jones, who has 24 wins in 2 seasons, has no plans to leave the coaching staff, nor does he want to. Jones is smart to be McCarthy's biggest backer this week because the Cowboys should all be riding in the same direction. And yet he may still have guessed right, as there are theoretical outcomes from this game that could change Jones' commitment. If the Cowboys lose the game in embarrassing fashion, 26-6, 50-6, 100-6, along with the highly improbable notion of losing the locker room, and the messaging of Sean Payton, the king of football under Coach Jerry. Will he come to Dallas without asking the staff? Jones never thought the Cowboys would be fired if they lost to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, because that's not his way of thinking. Jerry Jones has a plan for his Cowboys to win the game. The Dallas Cowboys suffered a heartbreaking loss to the Green Bay Packers in the NFC wildcard playoffs on Sunday night, but the game was far worse than the 48-32 score depicted. With the Cowboys trailing 27-0 in the second quarter, speculation began about what to do with team owner Jerry Jones. When Kane asked Jones if he should hire former New England Patriots coach or Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh, Smith said, "I think he should hire Bill Belichick. I think Jim Harbaugh, he's the national champion in Michigan after beating Washington last week. I think if you him, you going to the Senators because outside the champions. They trying to win Los Angeles, the second largest market in the country. Building a fan base, I think you have to be there as someone who works in the work and show a level of confidence but also have the ability to submit to management and be thoughtful.